Welcome to the Crime Report, where we delve into the darkest corners of real-life mysteries. From unsolved murders to shocking criminal conspiracies, we explore the stories that shook the world. Each episode, we take you step by step through the investigation, uncovering the truth behind the headlines and the secrets that still remain hidden. If you're a fan of crime stories, stay tuned and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Get ready, because we're about to uncover a story that will keep you on the edge of your seat. The Forgotten Files of Harrowgate. Part 1. A Locked Drawer and a Missing Girl. Harrowgate, Pennsylvania. Population, 4,202. A quiet town nestled in the hills and swallowed by fog every autumn. The kind of place where people still wave from their porches and everyone knows your name, or thinks they do. But in the summer of 1997, something happened that changed Harrowgate forever. A girl vanished. Her name was Emily Rowen, 16 years old. Last seen leaving the Harrowgate Community Library at 8:47 p.m. on June 4th. Surveillance footage showed her walking down Main Street alone. Then, nothing. No calls, no trace, no body. The town was shaken, of course. But after months without leads, people stopped talking. Emily's parents moved away. The posters were torn down. The search dried up. And the case, file #874C, was quietly sealed. Until now. In 2023, Harrowgate's police department was being remodeled. Old desks were being cleared out when Officer Jamie Linden found something strange: a locked drawer jammed at the back of a rusted filing cabinet. Inside were 5 manila folders, all marked inactive, all missing from the official archives. And one had a name written in red ink: Emily Rowen. Jamie handed the folder to Detective Serena Mays, a seasoned cold case investigator transferred from Philly. Serena had seen corruption, cover-ups, and bureaucratic neglect. But what struck her immediately was the file's condition. Burn marks along the edges, water damage, and handwritten notes, signed only with the initials RK. Inside was a photo of Emily, one the public had never seen. She was smiling, sitting on a stone bench by the lake. Behind her, barely visible in the tree-line, was a figure. Blurry, tall, watching. The original police report made no mention of this image. Serena looked deeper. The report had an attached cassette tape. No transcription, just a sticky note: "Do not digitize." She played it on an old recorder in the evidence room. At first, static. Then the faint voice of a girl whispering. He walks between the trees. No shoes, no sound. He waits for the fog. Click. Silence. Who recorded this? Why was it hidden? And who the hell was RK? Serena tracked down retired Officer Reuben Keller, now 78, living in a care home on the outskirts of Harrowgate. When asked about the case, his hands began to tremble. "They told me to leave it alone," he muttered. "Said she ran off. But I knew better. There were others." "Others?" Serena asked. He nodded. "Look up the lake. Look up 1979. Then he whispered, "He takes them when the trees breathe." Back at headquarters, Serena pulled the 1979 logs. 3 disappearances. All teenagers. All during the first week of June. None solved. None connected until now. The final page in Emily's file was a torn map of Harrowgate Lake with a red X marked in the northern cove. The fog was rolling in when Serena arrived there the next morning. The trees were still, the air cold. She stood at the edge of the lake and stared into the mist. And for just a second, she swore she heard it. Breathing. The Forgotten Files of Harrowgate. Part 2. The Red X and the Vanishing Pattern. Detective Serena Mays returned from Harrowgate Lake with the cold biting at her fingers and unease swirling in her chest. The red X on the torn map wasn't just a clue, it felt like a warning. Back at the precinct, she spread the contents of the hidden case file across her desk. Photos, notes, the cassette tape, and something she hadn't noticed before: a folded piece of lined paper stuck behind the cassette case. One sentence scribbled in blue pen: "He returns every 7 years." Serena ran the numbers. The 3 teens who disappeared in 1979. Emily in 1997. Another name from 2004, Liam Drexler, 17, vanished after leaving football practice. 7-year gaps. Coincidence? Not likely. She pulled the Weathertown records and laid them out, looking for patterns. Missing persons, unreported runaways, even drowning victims. And there it was. In 2011, Rachel Wiles, 15, disappeared after walking home from a sleepover, last seen near the same stretch of forest where Emily's photo was taken. Serena circled the dates, drawing red lines between them like a web. 1979, 1997, 2004, 2011, and the next, 2018. She searched the department's digital archive and found nothing. No case filed, no missing persons, but something still felt wrong. So she dug deeper, hospital records, school attendance, even church logs. And there, buried in a forgotten bulletin from ST, Luke's Church was a small note. A memorial service will be held for Joshua Keller, age 14, found drowned in Harrowgate Lake. No obituary, no police file, no autopsy report, just one service. And silence. Serena's blood ran cold. Keller, that name again. She grabbed her coat and raced back to the care home to confront Reuben Keller. Reuben was asleep when she arrived. The nurse gently woke him. When he saw Serena, he gave a slow, solemn nod. "You found Josh, didn't you?" he said. Serena nodded. "Was he your grandson?" "My great-nephew," Reuben replied. "They said he drowned, but his lungs were clean. No water." Her stomach tightened. "What do you mean?" "He was found on the shore, eyes open, no bruises, no wounds, but frozen like he'd seen something." Reuben pulled a yellowed photo from his wallet. A boy, smiling wide, wearing a necklace with a red stone. He wore this the day he died, but when they found him, it was gone. "Do you believe it's connected to Emily?" Serena asked. Reuben's eyes filled with tears. "They all are." Later that night, Serena drove back to the northern cove of Harrowgate Lake. She brought a metal detector and slowly began sweeping the area marked with the red X. Hours passed. Nothing. Then a signal. She dug into the wet soil with her hands until she felt it, cold, metallic, curved. She pulled it free. It was a necklace, a red stone. Suddenly, a noise behind her, a branch snapping. She turned. No one, just the wind and the fog. But then came the whisper, soft and raspy. "He waits in the fog." Serena spun around, heart pounding, but saw nothing. Just mist. She fled the woods and returned to her car, her hands shaking too badly to turn the key. When she finally got back to the station, the necklace had vanished. Only a smear of mud remained on the passenger seat. The next morning, Serena requested official records from 1979. It took 3 hours to get the authorization. When they arrived, one file caught her attention. Case hashtag 112A. Victim, Nathaniel Price, 16. Last seen, June 5, 1979. Witness, Reuben Keller. Attached was a sketch drawn by a local artist from Keller's description at the time. It was inhuman, tall, pale, no face, long limbs, bare feet, cloaked in mist. The caption read, "The Fog Man." A chill shot through Serena's spine. Was this what Emily saw? What Joshua saw? Was this? What took them? She flipped the final page. It read, "This case was closed due to lack of evidence. Witness testimony considered unreliable." And then, handwritten, "Keep this out of circulation. R.K. Reuben Keller." He hadn't just investigated the disappearances, he'd tried to cover them up. But why? Serena looked up at the wall of missing teens, the web of red lines, and the next date in the sequence, 2025. It was now May, and someone was about to vanish. The forgotten files of Harrowgate. The fog was thicker than usual that night. Detective Serena Mays sat alone in her squad car outside Harrowgate High, engine humming softly, windows down just enough to let the cool air inside. Her eyes kept darting to the dashboard clock. 11:58 p.m. If her calculations were correct, if the 7-year cycle meant anything, someone was going to vanish tonight. She gripped her radio tightly, watching students spill out from a spring formal dance. Laughter, music, flashing lights. It all felt too normal. She didn't know who it would be, only that it would happen, and that she had to stop it. She scanned the parking lot until she spotted him, Mason Keller, 16, walking alone toward the back gate. The Keller name again. Serena's gut clenched. She threw the car in gear and pulled up beside him. "Mason," she called, stepping out. He turned, startled. "Do I know you?" "I'm Detective Mays." Where are you headed? Just cutting through the woods. It's quicker. She stepped in front of him. Please don't. Take the long way. Mason frowned. Why? What's wrong? But before she could answer, the fog rolled in, fast, unnaturally thick, swallowing the school in seconds. And then came the screaming. Not from Mason, but from behind them, inside the building. Serena spun around, heart pounding. She rushed in, Mason close behind. The lights flickered as the fog crept through the open doors like a living thing. Students were coughing, disoriented. Teachers yelled instructions. Someone had passed out. Then someone shouted, "He's gone." A girl ran forward, tears streaming down her face. Jaden. He was right next to me. Then he was just gone. Serena bolted outside. The fog was now thickest over the football field. And standing in the center, barely visible, was a tall, featureless figure. Pale, elongated, cloaked in mist, just like the sketch in the 1979 file. Serena drew her weapon. "Hey," she shouted. The figure didn't move. She advanced slowly, Mason behind her. The air grew colder. With each step, the fog thickened. Her flashlight beam barely pierced it. And then it vanished, gone, as if it had never been there. But at her feet lay something. She bent down and picked it up. A red stone necklace, just like the others. Mason gasped. "That's Jaden's. He wore it tonight." Serena turned to him. "Are you sure?" "Yes. It was a gift from his grandma." Her breath caught. It had begun again. She looked at Mason. "Go home. Now." "But..." "Go." He hesitated, then ran. Serena stood alone in the fog, trembling. It wasn't just about timing. The victims, they all had the red stone. Was it a beacon? A curse? A mark? Back at the station, she tore through the archive photos again. She hadn't noticed it before, but now she saw it clearly. Each victim wore something red. Emily's hair tie, Joshua's necklace, Nathaniel's jacket. It wasn't a coincidence. Someone or something was choosing them, marking them. She pulled the stone out of her pocket. It was warm, pulsing. She dropped it. It hit the floor and shattered. Inside was a small black tooth animal. Human? She couldn't tell, but it twitched. Serena locked it in an evidence bag and placed it in a secure drawer. The fog outside the station began to clear. A week passed, then two. No more disappearances. The Keller family left town. The fog didn't return. And still, the town remained silent, unwilling to confront the truth. The Harrowgate files were quietly reopened, with Serena leading a new task force. But no leads, no patterns, no trace of Jaden, just fog. 1 year later, Serena walked the trail by Harrowgate Lake, still hoping for answers. She paused by the northern cove. Then she saw it. Footprints, small, bare, leading into the water, but none coming out. She followed the path with her eyes. There, floating in the reeds, Jaden's red stone necklace, reassembled, perfectly whole, as if it had never broken. She stepped back, because standing in the shallows was Jaden, smiling, but his eyes were black, and he whispered, "He chose me." Serena turned and ran, heart racing, because now she knew. The fog man didn't take his victims. He transformed them, and the next one was already being marked. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more thrilling mysteries like this one, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Your likes and shares help us grow and bring even more gripping tales to life. Thanks for listening.